the Misfits. I mean, growing up in New Jersey, it's kind of the legacy, you know. I mean, especially growing up with we had like a big punk and hardcore scene in New Jersey. So the Misfits were kind of like the center of all that. I also liked a lot of I was a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan. Radiohead, huge Radiohead fan. A lot of Britpop from the early to mid '90s, like Blur, Pulp, Suede, Charlatans, Morrissey, The Smiths, Cure, etc., etc. I mean, I like to eat sushi as much as possible. That's kind of hard. Pizza's always good. It's easy to get, tastes good. I mean, they can't mess it up too much, so it's kind of a constant. Definitely Gerard. He's kind of got this Freddie Mercury vibe, really theatrical, super expression, face. Like, he's just great up there. He's a great frontman. He's my favorite frontman. So I'd say he's the biggest exhibitionist.
This is from Ghost of You. We did this video. The guitar that Epiphone sent to be the time period, like a World War II type video. You know? And has the offline sound hole in there. It's really rad. Right down here, so like it totally split entirely, and then down here as well. Luthier in Jersey fixed it, replaced the whole truss rod. Doesn't look pretty, but she still works. Yeah, this guitar's seen a lot. This played the last MyChem show and the first one back, and I felt like that was a good way to kind of send her off. We had done a song for the Watchmen soundtrack and filmed the video with Zack Snyder. It was awesome, and this was the guitar for that. As far as like the MyChem mythology, this is number one. I ended up playing these Epiphone Elitist Les Pauls for a long time, and this was always the main. Played it for a really long time. After multiple fixes and things of that nature, I was just kind of fucking over playing this guitar. It hurt my hands. For an MTV special, I don't know, I was having a really, really bad night. You know those nights where everything you try just goes wrong? There was a giant MTV sign on wheels. It was like made of like paper mache and all this weird shit. And at the end of the show, I wheeled it out and went to hit the sign with the guitar. The sign broke. It broke the guitar and then toppled over and knocked every amp on stage over. And it was just like, great. So, yeah. Pansy did that. So, she hangs on the wall as well. Yeah, hold on a second.
Folio Society just sent me these amazing editions of Haunting of Hill House and Something Wicked This Way Comes. Look how cool those slipcovers are. I love it. So quickly.
You want me to be at my best. So, was getting in a tent with no sound check and no monitor check and playing. That's crazy. Maybe room with character would work. Like, you know, you have the creepy crawl. You had CBGBs. You have all these places, and you know, I was like, well, what's a place here that's kind of got that energy? And he said, oh, Wedgwood Rooms is where you want to go. So that's in Portsmouth. Like, you know, if you have to fight tooth and nail for every ticket sold, they feel great too. The ones that sell out in 30 seconds feel amazing. You know, it's nice to with that I can, you know, that gives me an opportunity to prove something. So that's a nice feeling. the same thing that you'll probably see at Reading and Leeds. There was a moment where I was weighing the options, and it just didn't feel like the right time yet to play any My Chemical Romance songs. Yeah, it didn't. It was like I didn't feel this strong urge to do it. You know. I also don't think it's the kind of thing that I wouldn't want to false advertise. I don't think it's the kind of thing that I'm going to be doing a lot. So I would want to come out for the very first show and play any, because then I think it'll be kind of expected. If it does happen in the future, it'll be because it's the right thing to do, and also it'll be kind of a special thing if I do it.
Pink Floyd's The Wall is definitely, it's more political, you know, but it does deal with a lot of life and death issues. You know, is sending kids off to war, you know, or breeding them to go off to war, is, you know, it asks questions about that. So that's one that definitely springs to mind. You know, I think that's something that we wanted to bring to this record.
I mean, plus that record, Rise and Fall, is amazing.
It's a good question. Probably David Lynch. That's my favorite. A lot of the heroes that inspire me were fictional, you know. So like Luke Skywalker, or, but then in music, you know, it would definitely be like Billy Corgan. He was a huge inspiration, you know. I get my power to create from, I believe, you know, some sort of outside source. I like to think it's like a gift that I've been given, like, to be able to do this. And so the energy of that allows me to make art, you know, and constantly be driven to make it. Either daydreaming or always working on some kind of story in my head, or thinking up something. I find myself there a lot.
Let's see here.
That's pile of guts. That's what it looks like. That's what the food lays in my guts. Wow. I don't know. I'm just gonna hit his cheeks over.